New York City, the Big Apple, Gotham, a city of monuments. We have all kinds of monuments. Monuments to commerce, monuments to freedom, monuments to the resolve of the human spirit. Monuments to sports. Lord knows, us New Yorkers, we love our sports. From Citi Field to Yankee Stadium, New York teams are iconic for one reason or another. But the thing as iconic as the stadiums and teams is the passion of the New York fans. So today, I want to talk about one of those stadiums. Madison Square Garden and its fans, the best sixth man on earth. The original Madison Square Garden originally opened in 1879, on the northeast corner of 26th Street and Madison Avenue. It was a 10,000-seat venue that closed in 1890 but was built over the Harlem Rail Yard, which had moved to 42nd Street and Grand Central Depot. Also, this lot was also a makeshift theater built by Page T. Barnum named the Hippodrome. Also, before the first garden, this area was used for the Westminster Dog Show in 1877. The second Madison Square Garden was opened in 1890 on the same site as the first after the first Madison Square Garden was demolished. It was built at the cost of $500,000 or $15,800,000 in today's money. The building closed in 1925 and was replaced by the third Madison Square Garden at 8th Avenue and 50th Street, which was the first to be located away from Madison Square. The new building, which replaced an antiquated open-air structure that was previously a railroad passenger depot, was built by a syndicate, which included J. P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie, P. T. Barnum, and W. W. Astor, among others. This garden was home to many events including wrestling, boxing matches before they were even legal, and other sports and events. By the time it closed, it was barely as successful as the first, and the New York Life Insurance Company, which held the mortgage on it, decided to tear it down to make way for a new headquarters building, which would become the landmark Cass Gilbert-designed New York Life Building. Construction on the new building began in 1926 and was completed in 1928. The third garden opened in 1925 till 1968 and was located between 49th and 50th and 8th Avenue. This MSG was the first home to the NHL's New York Rangers, which was owned by one of the owners, Tex Rickard. The exterior of MSG LLL was a simple box. Its most distinctive feature was the ornate marquee above the main entrance, with seemingly endless abbreviations: TOMF, VS, RGRs, Tonight, Through, etc. Even the name of the arena was abbreviated to Madison SQ Garden. They had many major events including the NIT and NCAA TOURNAMENTS, and being the official home of the Rangers and the Knicks, as well as the unofficial home of the classic Capital Wrestling Corporation, the predecessor to the WWE, started by Stephanie and Shane McMahon's granddad. The Garden also continued to host the Westminster Kennel Club's annual dog show. This championship is the second longest continuously running U.S. sporting event behind only the Kentucky Derby. The Garden was the place to be until 1968, when they were ready to move to the fourth Madison Square Garden, which is located in the footprint of the old Penn Station building, which was a source of controversy. Public outcry over the demolition of the Pennsylvania Station structure, an outstanding example of Beaux-Arts architecture, led to the creation of the New York City Landmarks Preservation Commission. Demolition of the third garden commenced in 1968 after the opening of the current garden and was completed in early 1969. The site is now the location of One Worldwide Plaza. The land between 31st and 33rd Streets and 7th and 8th Avenues was acquired for the new and current stadium in 1960. The stadium was one of the first such buildings to be built on top of an active railroad station. It was an impressive engineering feat at the time that it opened in 1968. It's the oldest major sporting complex in New York but has since undergone two major renovations to increase capacity and modernize the design. Originally called Madison Square Garden Center, the Garden opened on February 11, 1968, and is the oldest major sporting facility in the New York metropolitan area. It is the oldest arena in the NBA and the second oldest in the NHL, ahead of Seattle's Climate Pledge Arena. As of 2016, MSG is also the second busiest music arena in the world in terms of ticket sales. The Garden has been the home of some of the most memorable sporting and music events in history. Some of these top events include the Fight of the Century, between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier in 1971, Frank Sinatra's main event, concert in 1974, the 1970 Knicks NBA Championship and the Rangers' 1994 Stanley Cup Championship. But now, 2024, here we are again. In the playoffs, and we have two great teams with some of the best players in hockey and one of the best point guards in the game. We also have something the other teams don't have. The best sixth man in the game, the fans. No matter the adversity, win, lose, or draw, the fans keep the Knicks in the series. So whether we make it to the finals, salute to the Knicks and the fans.